Okay, it is almost 7:30. There it goes. 7:30 on the dot. Let me pull this to live chat instead of so it, I've got a thing here. It lets me choose between live chat, top chat, or only people who fund me. I don't know. I don't understand why I would pick that. How you doing, Rob? Good to see you. I will be, I know a lot of us, we don't have a lot of super football fans in here. I mean, everybody, I guess, there's a few that like it, but I don't know. Still, Super Bowl is one of those things that gets watched by a lot of people that don't normally watch football. So, yeah, it's not sure how many people I'll have in here tonight. Yeah, it might just be me and you. I don't know. Every now and then, if it's like one of those games that's, I don't know, there's got to be a reason for me to watch it other than just X is playing Y. Like last year, I could have cared less about the Eagles, but the fact that, there was a lot of former Alabama players on there, and yeah, I watched a little bit of it. I think I started watching it after I got off of here last year. So, but that's me. Um, let's see. Uh, there we go. It was, yes, I think it was a blowout game. It certainly wasn't, you know, what, um, what was it, Kansas City? Certainly wasn't what they've done in prior years. So, yeah, I'm pulling this stuff out. So I ordered a Gerber for replacement parts, and it come in. I had to go pick it up from the post office on Friday because they wasn't delivering everything to the house. Because I think there's maybe two different carriers, and one of them won't wouldn't deliver mail for quite some time because of the snow, and one of them would. And my package ended up getting not deliverable. And even though they delivered mail on Friday, they didn't send that package with it. So I went and picked it up. And in it was, instead of one Gerber, which this is the one they sent me, which I've already fixed my other one. It had good jaws on it. I just cleaned them up a little bit, but this one's it's not bad. That will all clean up pretty easy. It's just a little rust. Um, every bit of it. I've got good, you know, I've got good parts here for in case something happens. Let's see. Have a friend who was down to 20 gallons of propane due to the delays and snow. He was extremely nervous. They got him in time though. 20 gallons is rough. That that could be just a day or two. Yeah. I don't know how much propane people go through. I know when I was on a propane tank, it was expensive. That's all I remember is I couldn't afford to heat my house right because it was so expensive. Um, I was a whole lot younger then. I have a good Gerber. They are so useful. Yes, yes, they are. So this guy, I bought one Gerber from him, scrap Gerber, but I told him I was looking for these pins. This one in particular. This is a pressed in pin. Now later they went to a screw, but in this one it's a pressed in pin. Well, I told him about that, so he sent me an older one, except they've got screws. Now this wasn't pretty when he sent it to me, but I spent about an hour and a half cleaning it up. I couldn't get the jaws any better than that, but it is what it is. How you doing, Pete? I will. I'm going to try to make me this. Well, I'll show you. I'm going to try to make this pin right here. I've got the piece inside because I was able to take it from this one and it fits. So it's a little spring loaded piece. So I've got this piece, which is the lock. And so it locks into place. It would pop out right there. I just need that. So I think I'm going to take me a nail. And it's going to be just a little bigger than that hole. And I tried drilling and tapping it and using this, but it wouldn't work. So I'm going to take me a nail. It's going to be just a little bit bigger than that hole. And then I'm going to turn it down just slightly bigger. And then I'm going to cut grooves in it. And then I'm going to press it in. Now, it won't come back out. But I'm afraid too that it'll bust that. It'll bust it because it's obviously hardened. I tried drilling into it and I couldn't drill and I couldn't get a tap started. And the hole is just slightly smaller than what I need. What I need is a letter. I forget what letter it is, but it's a drill bit between an 1/8 inch and 9/64. And I have very few letter drill bits. So, and I don't know why I'm trying to fix all these. I don't know what I'm going to use them for. But this is my original one I bought, so it's got a little bit of what is it? Sentimental value. So, plus Gerber is sending me something. I don't know what they're sending me. They may be sending me 3 brand new Gerbers, but I don't know yet. They told me that they didn't make the 400s anymore at all, and they would send me a 600, or they were sending that they only had the 600s. They didn't tell me what they were sending me. So, yeah. I have wood pellet. Love the wood pellets for heat. Stuff is going to the garage next year, and I'll buy a new one. That's cool. I wouldn't mind. doing wood pellets. Yeah, I've thought about it before I did what I did out here. Hey Pete, I thought, I gotta ask if you have a pen. Could you measure it and find it online by chance? I looked on the eBay. I looked on a few other sites that sold parts, and I couldn't find anything. But I guess I could measure it. It's, it's. I would like to pull this one out, but essentially it is that, and then it's under that. It's turned down, and it's just flat on the end and presses in uh, to that hole, right? The one on the bottom. So I don't know, but I think I could. I think I can make something. It won't be easy. Um, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to take the time to chuck it up in a lathe, though. I don't think that's worth doing. Did you email Carl Gerber and ask? Yes, that's what I did. I emailed them. I sent pictures of everything I needed, and let's see. Here is the first time they contacted me. They said, "Hey, we need some better pictures." They said, "Take one picture of all three of them and lay them out and open it all the way up, all the implements and everything, so we can tell exactly the models." So I did that. And then their next response to me was, "Thank you for the additional information. Your claim has been processed, and you will receive an email once the replacement ship with tracking information." It says replacements. Please note the MP400 has been discontinued and replaced with the MP600 needle nose basic. So that's my email. Let's see. I'll show you the picture I sent them. It probably doesn't matter. There's the picture. There's a decent amount of difference in all of them. And this one is, the one on the bottom is much smaller than the one in the middle. The one on top is smaller. That's why I think it's still an MP400. But when I looked up all the information for it, everything I said pointed towards calling it a model. Let's see. Something, a model 50 something, but I don't have the email anymore. I don't have the email because I sent it through their site. But it was model 53 something something something, like 53,000 something. So, but I think it was just because they changed a fair amount, and this one's old enough to have the U.S. patent numbers on it and patent pending. So you'll know it's usually the first iteration or a very early iteration of a tool or something or anything if it has patent pending on it. I see that a lot on my old tools. Yeah. One other thing I just got I didn't just get this. I'm considering using this in my motorcycle toolkit, but I did buy something else for it. So I don't know, have I showed y'all this laser toolkit before? So it's it's the same kit that one of the tool trucks sells. I think it's Matco. Could be Mac, or they used to sell, because I tried looking it up and couldn't find it. It's a half bit set. It's similar to Vim, but it's not Vim. It's not made by them, and I don't think it's made by the same people. What I liked about it wasn't just the short bits. These are very short. I don't. These Milwaukee ones are a little longer, maybe, than normal, but you'll see the bits are a fair amount shorter. I've been getting up and down, and I forgot I'm wearing my sweatpants, and they might have a hole in the crotch, so I'm going to try to stay seated from now on so I don't scare y'all. But what I'm liking about it is this. And they snap in there. So I got to thinking, these are metric. I don't really need metric. Like, I was wondering, will the Astro set, the 1/4 inch set, fit in there? So I ordered it. Let's see. 1/4 inch drive, low profile, nano impact sockets. SAE. I ordered the SAE because these are metric. And they come in. They come on a decent little rail. They're tiny. But of course, 1/4 inch sockets are. And they fit. So that whole kit will go in here, or could go in here. Now, one thing, I know I told y'all about this last week, my vessel screwdriver, some of the bits rusted up on me. Part of what I keep in my, kit, my to-go kit. And I'm wondering how keeping this in there, will do. And the plan is, if I did this, I would be replacing, for the most part, the little what is it? The Harbor Freight one, because the Harbor Freight one doesn't have sockets. The new one does, but it's not the same thing. I wish they would have just added sockets to the new thing, and maybe added this to it. Kept the old style, but added this to it. Or maybe added this, but made sure this end was the same as the style on the other one. That way you could at least turn it into a T-handle. You wouldn't be able to extend it like you can the other one. But, yeah. Add the silica packets. I might do that. I might actually, in that Vim screwdriver, because I think I'm going to keep it. I might be able to put a silica packet, if I could get a small enough one, down inside the handle. I don't know. That might work. It might not. I'm not sold on taking this with me yet. I've also got a nice Vera set. I think it's Vera. I don't have it in here. I'm pretty sure. I can't get up even if it was. Now that y'all know. Let me see. Is it the Vera? Yeah, it's the Wera Tool Check Plus, but it's a small one. It's this one right here. Let me show it to you. I've got that one too. It's the Imperial version, but it only comes with 3 sockets. Now I'm not sure that that's all I need. But this would replace completely. This one would completely replace the Harbor Freight one. Yes, it's significantly more expensive. I don't know what to say about that. I like this one. I don't know that it's better all around than the little Harbor Freight one. I really like the little case that the Harbor Freight one is, and I think it takes up less space than that. Now they're both different dimensions all the way around, where this one is thinner than the Harbor Freight one. But, I like the case on the Harbor Freight one. And I wish there was some way, there might be, I might take a look at it, maybe finally get the stinking 3D printer out and make me something. Or see if someone can laser cut me a nice little foam deal to go in the bottom and the top that will hold all of it. So there that is. Let me do this. Interested in that? There's your link for that. Let me cut this stuff. Stop sharing that. And orders. And here's you a link for the Astro socket set. Let me show that to you here real fast so you'll see it on the page. It wasn't super expensive, $27.99, pretty decent. It looks like they're still in stock. So it's not too bad. That's almost exactly the cost of the Harbor Freight little icon toolkit. But yeah. So Astro has some good tools too. I'm going to shift gears here. And I'm a little apprehensive to do this. I'm going to preface this by saying I don't want to turn this into a political debate. I'm asking purely on moral grounds. Okay. So forgive me ahead of time, but I want to get feedback. So early in the campaign of the president, during the campaign of the president, one of the talking points that I remember hearing was making sure they released the Epstein files. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that, there's a lot of hubbub, and everyone kept saying, release it, release it, release it, including me. And all of a sudden, the president said, it's a hoax. The files don't exist. Now, I have not seen a clip of that saying the files didn't exist. But I have seen a clip of him saying it was a hoax. And then they released it. And now he's saying we need to move on from it. It's a hoax. It's not important. We need to move on to more important things. Me personally, I feel that catching pedophiles, serial sexual abusers, and sexual assaulters is extremely important to our country. Extremely. Especially when those people are in positions of importance across the world, not just in our backyard. And it bothers me to a great degree. I am searching for as much information as I can find. I did find the clip, and it was weird how he said it, because he said hoax, and then he said we need to move on to more important things. Now, I forget exactly what he said. It bothers me, and I want to understand why it's no longer important. I don't know. If y'all want me to move on from that, go ahead and let me know down there, and I will move on. Just think, do some research for yourself. That's all I'm asking. I am a Republican. I believe that I believe in not only being morally conservative, but fiscally conservative for our country. I feel that a lot of the money that we send out for support shouldn't be. That doesn't mean we shouldn't help out nations that need help. That also doesn't mean that helping another nation defend itself doesn't turn around and help us. But it needs to be relooked at. Okay? So that's where I stand. I believe in doing the right thing no matter what. No matter what. There has been times when I messed up and I owned it, and knowing that the possibilities could be me getting fired or, Article 15 or whatever. And I believe everybody should be held to that same standard. There's another deal, but I won't talk about that. Thank y'all for listening. Some people, the number that shows me how many people's in here constantly goes up and down. I don't know if 2 people actually left, but yeah. See, I believe in context. He was referring to himself being referenced was a hoax. It was a little different in this one, in this interview. There's a lot of information out there, and I'm not saying he's guilty of anything. Everything needs to be investigated. And if someone is, no matter what position they're in, if someone is in the wrong, they need to be brought up on charges and sent to trial. Period. Let the court system work it out and decide whether they're guilty or not. As long as there's enough evidence to place charges, I believe it should be done on anybody. I'm seeing a lot out there. I'm concerned. So, yeah. I agree with you, Rob. No matter who you are, you should be held accountable. Period. And no matter where you stand on anything, a person that does harm to children, I have no use for them. And while I believe in forgiving people wholeheartedly, that is one area where I would not be able to do it. If it was one of my children, I would not be able to do it. I would be hard pressed not to commit a felony. So that's where I stand. Not that no one else's kids aren't as important, but those particular ones, children, grandchildren, I am responsible for. You know. So yeah. There's that. I know I understand. Talking about this is tough. I posted some stuff on my Facebook page asking for some comments, and people don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. I have got some of my friends that are staunch supporters, and it concerns me that we'll no longer be friends when they understand how I feel. And or not understand when I start asking the questions that I'm asking, you know, there it is. So far, there hasn't been any consequences for politicians or higher. I agree. They should not be above reproach. They should be above reproach. They shouldn't be above the law. Have y'all seen all this stuff with Thomas Massie? I'm voting for him. I don't care if he's not voted with Republicans on some issues that Republicans shouldn't have voted on. But there it is. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, I didn't agree with her on a lot of stuff. She was very, she went a little far right on some things. But she started begging for the Epstein files to get released, and she got canceled by her own party. I don't know. How do you feel about that? I mean, in Thomas Massie, same thing. Let's get back on tools. I apologize. I don't apologize for what I said, but I apologize for y'all coming in here to talk about tools and the stuff we normally talk about. You didn't come in here to talk about that. I do want to at some point, maybe on my Facebook, start a live where men talk about holding ourselves accountable and what we should be doing and how we should act and the things that we see in other men that we need to correct and things like that. I would like to do that. And I would like to do it in such a way that Christian and non-Christian could come in and feel comfortable, feel like they're not being preached at, or vice versa. You're not compromising on one side and not preaching on the other. I haven't got my bourbon. I know maybe some will call me a hypocrite. I understand. I'm going to do this Noble Oak again. It was pretty good when I first tried it. I'm hoping after trying it again, it's even better. I know I've said this before, but this is the only time of the week I indulge. Let's see. I still didn't get anything else done this week. I've got a video that I am obligated to do that I still haven't done. And I was planning on getting it out yesterday, but I've got this homework that I haven't been able to complete that I'm trying to get done. And I've still got one paper to finalize tonight. I got one more paper to do completely. It's got to be done by 1 a.m. or 12:59 a.m. my time. When it gets close, I will set my system clock to Central Time because the college is on Central Time. And if I don't turn it in by the time that it says there, so here it would be 11. There it's 11:59. Here it's 12:59. But when I turn it in, it gets time stamped with my time. So I have got to set my clock back to their time for it to give it the correct time stamp. Start itching. Oh man. That was pretty good. There was a weird alcohol-y, but it wasn't real bad. That's good. This is I don't know if this was like a less than $40 bottle. It's worth it. I know this isn't what y'all are in here for either, but I'm pretty proud of it. So this is 3 semesters in a row. I have received a President's Scholar deal. So to get it, so there's President's Scholar, and then there's another one below it that's normal in every college, and I forget what it's called. Maybe one of you can tell me. But I've gotten three of these President's Scholars so far, and I'm hoping I get one more. That way, when I frame my diploma, I'm gonna have a frame made to where I can put one of these in each corner, sort of. It's like put it over the corner, so you've got the square, and then at each corner a square. That we can go to the craft shop on Post, and they custom make shadow box picture frames there, and it's significantly cheaper than if you go somewhere else. Hobby Lobby ain't too bad, but it's still cheaper. My wife is ahead on her classes right now. Fortunately, they seem fairly lenient with the due window, but not like you get 24 hours. But if it's within an hour, they don't seem like. That's not bad. There's been stuff that I've gotten done that I forgot to turn in. The one teacher that I've had a problem with has been completely understanding. But I'm not willing to tempt it with the other teachers. If tomorrow, when I go to class, I've got like 4 hours or 5 hours in between classes, right? It's like I got a class in the morning at 9:10. It's over like at 10:10 or something like that. And then from there until 1:50, I don't have another class. And it makes no sense for me to drive 2 hours home and 2 hours back. So I should, and I did use it last week, but I didn't get as much done as I should have. So should be using that time to really, really work on homework. When I went through college, it was just default time system. If it was missed, it was late. Yeah. It's something to do with this Blackboard software that even though it accounts for my Eastern time in the software, it shows me Eastern time there. So it shows me 12:59. It's due by 12:59. But when I turn it in, it timestamps it Central Time. It timestamps it whatever my actual time is. And yeah, I don't want to mess around and mess that up. What else? So what have y'all been up to this week? Anything big? Any big projects going on? Pete, I haven't spent as much time on YouTube this past week as normal. I usually watch your videos and I try to comment, but I don't always comment. But I don't think I've seen a single video from you this week. I'm not even sure you're still on here, Pete, but yeah, I don't know if I've seen one from you this week at all. Like I said, I haven't spent much time on YouTube, but yeah. I'll get about 3/4 through with this. And no matter what it is, it'll start tasting bad to me. And the indigestion starts. And that's with every bourbon I've ever tried. If it's not horrible to begin with, I get about 3/4 of the way through with it, and it's hard to finish with for me. I had to go home 3 times early because I've been sick. Wow. How you feeling now, man? Are you feeling better? I sure hope so. I hate being sick. You know those memes about men and like their sickness is, the worst thing ever. And because I don't know. Yeah, I hate being sick. Had to work today because I'm behind. Yes, I'm better. Well, I'm glad you're better. I hate that you had to work today. You need at least a day of rest when you're not sick. But I understand having to catch up. Um, I'm looking around. I don't know. I'm trying to figure some stuff out. My heater is messing with me again. I need to drink faster. My heater's messing with me again, and I think it is uh, sooted. I gotten too much soot on the where the eye looks down in, and it's blocking the eye because it's back to where it's shutting off and giving me the error that it's not seeing flame. Because if it's a flame out, just a regular flame out, the heater tries to start again. And it'll start again X amount of times. I don't know how many times, but it will usually try to start again. So what happened on the little display, well, it ain't a display. Um, there's a little deal with fault lights, a little bitty fault lights. If it flames out, the light will blink. But if the photo eye isn't seeing a flame at all, it will stay solid red and it won't try to start back again. And it's some type of safety. I have to stick the air blow in there about once a month. Yeah, so I probably need to do the same. And I've about got a good um, routine down for my oil. So, first of all, for pumping, I make a mess usually, but I had this big pan that you can put under leaks under cars, and it's about 3 foot by 2 foot or something like that. So I've got it set down near where I'm pumping at, and I've got the hose. I leave the hose run into the barrel I'm pumping from, and I've got two jugs, 2.5 gallon jugs. One of them is to hold the out part of the pipe or hose when I'm not using it for it to drain into and all that. The other one is to so to fill it up and to go dump it, to go dump it into my stuff. So all of that done and being patient, I've reduced my spills a ton. Plus, while I'm doing that, I'm doing at least 10 gallons a day into my barrel, straining it into my barrel. Um, so I've got that, and while I'm doing that, I let my barrel drain into my heater. That way, every 2.5 gallons, I'm dumping and seeing how much is in there. Now, with it flowing the way it is now, which is kind of slow because what's in my barrel doesn't have diesel fuel in it. I'll put 5 gallons of diesel in a full barrel. So it flows better, burns pretty good. It's not super expensive to do. I mean, 5 gallons is $15. So that's not horrible. It's not great because I think I'm going through a barrel every 8 days, 9 days when I'm running it constantly. So you figure it up. That means you're going to fill your barrel. That means you're going to fill it with diesel fuel 4 times a month, which is $60. So that's $60 roughly on top of all the effort you go through to keep that full. Now, that being said, if I was heating it with electricity, which doesn't do anywhere near as good a job, it would be costing me about $400 a month minimum. If I was heating it with propane, it will probably be running me somewhere around 150, 250. It's hard to guess because I wasn't running it all the time. But I was going through a 30-gallon or a 30-pound bottle, not running it all the time in 3 days. So my work time out there. And that was when I was doing my loft. So there you have that. Plus, I was doing, I had 2 small bottles, and I would run them on a small buddy heater, and I would go through those. So I would go through that, and I would have to replace it every 4th, 5th day. Plus, I was buying kerosene to put in a kerosene heater, which was taking about the same amount of time. I would actually leave the kerosene heater running overnight. And it would run itself out, which is bad on the wick, which it hardens the wick, so it's not good to let it do it, but plus it gets real smoky in there when you do that. Well, shoot. That's about all I got, everyone. Thank y'all for sticking around and going through my listen to my tirade. I hope that people can do some good research and get past rhetoric and spin and form a intelligent, informed opinion that isn't based on any bias. When I say that, I mean everybody. And I want the truth, period. Because it affects all of us greatly. I do not want to see our country fail. So, y'all take care. Have a great night, a great week. Happy 250 years to America. God bless America. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all next Sunday. Or maybe you decide I don't want to listen to him anymore. Y'all take care. Have a great night. And I wish y'all the best this week. Have a good one.